Good afternoon, everybody, and hearty welcome to this press conference with directors of two films. Nilamadhav Pandaji is with me, and Mr. Shurveer Tyagi. Both of them have their films have been screened at the IFFI. First, I will give a brief introduction about both of them as well as their film, and after that Nilamadhav Pandaji and Shurveer Tyagi ji will talk about their films and making of their film, and after that we can have the questions. Nilamadhav Pandaji's film Kalira Atita has been screened yesterday. It's an Oriya film feature. The movie tells the story of a young man and his challenging survival on the abandoned coast, his existence and survival to survive the fury of nature. It has been selected and screened under the Indian Panorama at the IFFI. Let me just share with you that Nilamadhav Pandaji is a veteran in the Indian film industry, and he's produced and directed over 70 films, including features, documentaries, short films on social issues, on climate change, education, water, child labor, sanitation, female feticide. I Am Kalam was one of the notable films he made in 2010, which won many awards, including a national award. He has also made Kadvi Hawa in 2017 on climate change. Before that, Jalpari was made in 2012. Balu Happy Hai was made in 2014, a feature film. Jalpari was also adjudged the best feature film at the Lucas International Film Festival, Germany in 2010. Mr. Panda is the recipient of Padma Shri in 2016. I would request Mr. Panda to share his thoughts on his film as well as the making of the film.
नमस्कार, नया वर्ष के लिए शुभकामनाएं आप सबको, बिकॉज ये बोलना ज़रूरी है क्योंकि इतने महीने हम ऐसी स्थिति में रहे. थोड़ी सी जो स्माइल, जो हैप्पीनेस है यहाँ पे, I think I should first congratulate everyone who made IFFI happen. Government of India, the people, everybody. That's why we can be in a room together, smile, see the colorful thing. When I entered Goa in the evening, day before evening, I said, my God, it looks like life coming to normalcy, you know. So I think it shows the way, IFFI shows the way how we can see our future now, because we have all gone through that. And that's relevant to my film. As human, during the progress, development, we do not realize what impact we are doing to the world. And because of us, there are a lot of innocent lives who suffers. So one of that case is the guy based on which the story is in Kalira Atita. Kalira Atita in English is yesterday's past. So literally that guy is living in yesterday's past. His present is that. What is the present? To go back to the story of the film, of course I have been, in fact she asked me in the morning that why do you make issues on climate change or such serious issues? So I said, as human, we live in an ecosystem. Our body, environment, world, community, there is an ecosystem. If you trouble one part in this ecosystem, then many things will fall into trouble. So is what is happening today. I mean, look at the irony, you know, people have been, if still the perception on climate change is still people are saying that it must be happening somewhere else, not happening with me. It's happening here, now, everywhere, okay? Some places where you see is visibly, some places where you see it's really dangerous. That is the story of my film. In 2006, I got a film fellowship from UK High Commission and Discovery Channel. So you're supposed to do a film on environment. So I did the film where just a year back I saw front page news hand pump. So it's like hand pumps, the soil has been eroded. So like 10 feet hand pump is standing inside the sea. There is water under. Hand pump generally you see where? In community, inside the village, outside the village, like that. And there's no village, dur dur tak. Okay? And around that what you see is remnants of school, houses and everything. I mean, I have never seen such a scary picture in my life. Then I started studying. So I put that as my fellowship project. To find out why this hand pump is inside the sea, I took a public perception, scientific perception, government approach, everything. It is in the coast of Odisha. Some says that this might be because Paradip port was built, so sea has been risen. ऐसे तो हो ही नहीं सकता एक पोर्ट की वजह से sea ऐसे उठ जाएगा. So when we find out in 2006, nobody believed it could have happened due to sea level rise. But eventually, I started following that whole area. So when I saw out of 7 villages, 4 villages were already consumed by the sea. Okay, they were inside the sea. 3 villages left. Half of these 3 villages have been moved. You know, the moment sea is ingressing, they are moving from place to place. Like इस साल आधा किलोमीटर गए, फिर अगले साल फिर एक मिट्टी का घर बना, ऐसे करके जाते रहे. Then the factor comes. This is in a deltic zone, okay? And why it is happening? Because the water, you know, if you see, you know, even 0.5 degree temperature in sea makes a lot of difference. We have been reading about it, you know, ice melting and everything. That is the story of this village. In 13 years, rest of the 3 villages gone into the sea. Nobody is there. I wanted to tell, of course, documentary is something, you know, as still in India, you know, generally documentary has still not been mainstreaming, you know. So I thought I should do a feature film to tell this story. I mean, I try to capture the emotional impact of climate change. Generally हम क्या देखते हैं, climate change मतलब बाढ़ आया, ये आया, जिसमें फिजिकल लॉस कितना हुआ, खेत में पानी घुस गया, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ये हो गया, इकोनॉमिक लॉस हो गया. बट दिस इज most important thing is the emotional point. Emotionally कैसे लोग डूबते हैं. So this man started thinking that his family has gone into the sea, his village is inside the sea, and he started believing that there will be a new world which will be under the sea. And आप देखेंगे, if you read Mumbai, there is danger to Mumbai, Bangkok, many such cities are under the threat of eventual submerged by the sea. That is the immediate impact of climate change. So I have told the story of impact of climate change through one man. It's almost like a silent film. I have almost in the whole feature film there will be 20-25 dialogues. But it is more about the emotion of that man and what is the reality. So that's the story. And it's happening here and now. So yeah, that's the film.
Thank you, Pandaji. We'll have the questions immediately after we have Mr. Shurveer Tyagi speaking about his film Jadoo. His film tells the story of 2 young friends, Twisha and Bhakti, who, despite their differences, gradually discover friendship. The movie has been screened, as I said, under the Indian Panorama non-feature films category. Mr. Tyagi is a actor, writer and director, and he's been associated with theatre for quite a long time, and he conducts acting workshops for children. This film is his directorial debut. Mr. Tyagi.
Yes, namaskar. First of all, I congratulate DIFF, IFFI and all the audience who are present over here, because I feel that while we make films, then until and unless the film doesn't reach to the audience, the cycle is not complete. So I feel DIFF and IFFI organizers are doing a great job completing the cycle. And at the time of this COVID pandemic, the festival is being organized and it's a great job done. Now I'll come to my story, my film Jadoo. I feel in the academics, in the learning, I faced certain problems while I was a student. I feel that I am a slow learner. And when I entered into theatre, starting doing theatre, and reached to the level I started conducting workshop myself, then I realized that every kid, every student is a kind of bottle of different shape. Their necks are different, their lids are different. If a student doesn't learn anything at the end, the blame should not go to the student, but it should go to the teacher, because he's just incapable to open the lid and pour something inside it. That subject was something very close to my mind. I wrote down a complete banded script and I wanted to make a feature film. But for this kind of sensitive subject, I didn't get proper funds to make the film. Then I squeezed it and I thought to make a short film on that. In a way, it's not that short because the duration is just 38 minutes 23 seconds. It's a mid-short kind of film. And beside that, because education and learning, beside that, there are many things which are imbibed in this subject. I feel in the society, to groom, this is a very bigger perspective. The subject matter and the responsibility is not up to the parents and teachers only who teach in the schools. It's the larger part, and the responsibility comes to the whole society. There's a very simple saying, a quote: if an old man dies, then it means a library of 1,000 books are burnt, because they have immense of knowledge and wisdom. In my film, you can see there are two young girls who have facing certain kind of problems at school, at home, because I feel that the parents are the first teachers. If they are not that capable to understand the internal world of the kids, and even the teachers are failed sometimes to understand that internal world of the kids, then someone, the wise man, some old man, he comes and he connects with them. The old man have the immense of knowledge. When this bridge, when the bridge becomes visible between the kids and the old people, then the knowledge can transform very easily. But more than that, I wanted to say in this, because what I learned in my workshops, to make students understand, to teach them, first we have to come on their level. We cannot teach them from our level. We have to reach up to the bottom of their hearts. Once we become, suppose I'm a father of a very young daughter, she's just 3.5 years old, but to make her understand, I have to become the very small baby, and then she understands my language. So first I have to understand her language, then she can understand my language. So in my film, the old man becomes a young chap. He plays with them, he becomes friends with them, and then they connect. And then after that, if you want to teach them something, they can learn. So this is something I can say something about in the brief. And if you have the opportunity to watch my film, I think it can be it is multi-layered, and then you can understand the film in the better way. So this is something about. Thank you.
I think the floor is open for questions now. Ji, please.
Sir, my name is Brajbhushan Chaturvedi, BBC. Ramanand Sagar gave this name. I am 84-year-old, and something very similar to you. I am writing on cinema since last 70 years. And the thing is that you have met such Kalam and the Jalpari, I have seen all the films. What do you think about the things, the way of a human being, and they must touch the heart. Film is an art, and it must touch the heart of a people throughout the world, not of the one of the person. So, in what way you think about the life and film, both the together, how can go with the audiences?
Well, I am a like you are. I mean, who I can see like for us inspiration that I'm a very optimistic man. I always say that we'll have good days. Okay, cinema is something which will make us alive always. As Indian, I'm very proudly I would say whatever genre kind of genre film we have made, it's a very lively form. We live with it. We eat that. We have loved every genre. And I think India has a greater future in terms of cinema. And there will be different genre which will come every now and then. And especially the new generations, they're crazy about this whole idea of cinema. I've seen in villages also, if you see, there are a lot of indigenous films happening. And there is a brighter future for our people, for our new generations in cinema.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Shashwat. I'm an independent journalist. I have my questions for one for you and one for you. The question for you: films and climate change. We have seen quite a few foreign films presenting the doomsday through climate change. Many researchers have said that we are not yet towards doomsday. So do you think that there needs to be balance the way filmmakers portray the challenges of climate change in a more layman's language to convince them? Because climate change is more of a behavioral change, the way we deal with our daily issues like terms of energy consumption and etc. And could those things be handled in a movie in a more realistic way that could convince us to change our behavioral pattern, and that could pave the way for a more realistic way of living through your films? And sir, coming to you, your film on Jadoo, we have seen always this problem of generation gap, which you have tried to deal in your film. So do you think your film can, in a way, really bust those myths when we talk about the dispensation of old age, or they are more dispensable and they are no more relevant the way generally movies portray the generation gap? Can these kind of films bridge that generation gap?
Okay. So first, you will answer for your question.
Like I said, I'm an optimistic man. There is nothing called doomsday. Doomsday will never come in mankind. Mankind will always find ways. हम इतना बड़ा पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन से भी निकल कर भी बैठे हैं. We'll always find our ways to survive. The point of making serious films on climate change is very important. जब तक भारत सरकार, कोई भी सरकार सिगरेट की ऐसे गंधित छवि नहीं दिखाया था, तब तक स्मोकिंग नहीं कम हुआ था. अब अगर बिगिनिंग में हर सिनेमा की सिगरेट की देख लेंगे तो पहले तो 4-5 घंटा चेन स्मोकर भी सिगरेट बंद कर देगा. तो शॉक देना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एज एन आर्टिस्ट, दैट इज़ माई पोर्ट्रेयल. आई एम नॉट बैलेंसिंग, आई एम नॉट seeing what people likes or not. I see what is real as an artist. I'm giving you my reflection. I have seen in front of my eyes 3 villages engulfed by the sea because of sea level rise. How else do I tell the story? I will believe that the world is going to be submerged by the sea. And that means also, I'm not portraying anything negative. I'm giving you a shock that this is what it is. It's high time we get conscious. आपको याद होगा जब पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन शुरू हुई, बड़े सारे बातें उठी कि बॉम्बे में चारों ओर बर्ड आ गए, वेनिस की पानी में डॉल्फिन आ गया, बहुत सुंदर सुंदर, दिल्ली की हवा साफ हो गई. तो पेंडेमिक ने सब ठीक कर दिया, तब भी हम नहीं सुधरे. तो एक एक शॉक बीच में बहुत ज़रूरी है, तभी जाके सुधार आएगा. और हम ह्यूमन हैं, हम में थोड़ी सी वो टेंडेंसी है, 2 दिन सुधर जाएंगे, तीसरे दिन फिर वही हरकत करेंगे.
So, the question which you asked me, like, I think the question we have to see in the larger perspective. You talk about the myth between the gap between kids, or maybe the generation to generation, the older age. But I feel this is a societal question. If you go to the villages or the small cities where we live in the joint families, you cannot see that kind of gaps. The parents go out and the grandparents raise the children. The gap is not there. We all been risen listening grandparents' stories. There was no gap. This is the product of metropolitan cities where we forced to live in the single unit. We do not live in the joint families. The parents are working day and night to earn their livelihood, and kids do not have the shelter of grandparents. So this is the bigger question. If we will go back to the roots, and if we see the values which are imbibed in our culture, we see there is no gap at all. We all, I think you also have been risen in the arms of your grandparents. We all heard the anecdotes and the stories, Raja, Rani and everything of Panchtantra and animals stories from our grandparents' mouth. So this is the product of this cities culture. So there is a need to balance that. Even I feel, I have many friends, they feel, because I live in a single unit with my wife and my daughter, my parents do not live with me, unfortunately. They say, you are lucky, you have freedom. I say, no, I'm unfortunate. Because I have this problem when I'm here, then who will take care of my daughter? Because in single family, it's more difficult. We feel that the parents are burden, but they are not. Because at that time, we do not feel any pressure of raising our kids. They are risen themselves only in the arms of our grandparents, and the values imbibed. There is nothing, because everyone are the product of the influences we get from the society. If we get the good influences, we'll become a good human being. If we get the bad influences, we become the bad citizen. So when you are in the arms of grandparents or the wise people or the responsible people, the values come in, the seeps in. And we hope for the good, and we can become nurtured with the good values. So I think this is a societal question.
Sir, you are a big creator of the film. What do you think the future of cinema in India? In what way you think what the future of cinema in India for the new generation?
So this is the question to me or to sir? Anyone can. See, sir, I feel that cinema is an art. Yes, this is the relatively new art. If you compare with the painting, with the dance, with singing, other fine arts, this is a relatively new art. And the art goes with the society, with the changes. And when the art develops, when the society goes on, it always flourishes. So there is nothing, there is no need to worry about it. It's been flourishing. If the subjects are been changing, it means the things are changing in the society. Because whatever happens in the society, the filmmakers or the artists take the inspiration from the society, and then they try to imbibe that things into the film, and the film are a reflection of the society. So I think the future is great. There's nothing to worry about it. And we are in the good company. Yeah.
Thank you very much. If there are no
Thank you
more
so
questions,
much.
we can close the press conference. Thank you.